Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to BNN. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. As you guys have noticed, I haven't been posting in January for very many reasons. A lot of you have probably noticed I've not been active on YouTube, but the tea has been on Instagram. It's been purely on Instagram from the month of January, and for very many reasons. I've only been uploading second chance videos, and some of you guys noticed. And the reason why is I've been dealing with a lot of litigation in January. A lot of people have tried to sue me, a lot of them. So if you notice there are some videos that you don't see on the channel, it's for that reason. And also some of them I just showed mercy. It's been also a little bit scary. Some of these celebrities have threatened my life and my family's life. I've actually been tipped off by a lot of you guys of some of the shady things they are planning behind the scenes, and information is power, and thank you to all of you who came forward and let me know. Some of these celebrities that you admire, they're pretty much terrible people, and I've seen it firsthand, but I don't want to talk about any of them because this is 2020 and atutaki makasiriko, and it's forced me to reinvent my content. And going forward, I'll have to change a little bit on my content to make certain that I am safe, my family is safe, and we can still help the people we help and tell the stories we like on this channel. So what do you guys think I should do with the channel? How do you want the content to be told? How do you want these stories to be told? Should we do them anonymously so that no one gets hurt and no one's feelings get hurt, and they keep doing this shady background deals trying to find out, like, why does a celebrity need to know where my parents live? Why? So how do you guys think we should tell these stories and tell them in a safe manner so as not to risk my safety, my family's, and my freedom? January has been a very busy month. I've been on a media tour. I've been to almost every major TV station in Kenya. I've done radio interviews, TV interviews, newspaper interviews. I got verified on Instagram, so your boy is now mainstream. So let's cover the news. So today we all woke up to the news that Kobe Bryant had died in a helicopter crash with his daughter alongside 9 other people in California. Kobe was expected to coach at the Mamba Sports Academy where his daughter was playing. The FAA are investigating the crash, claiming there was low visibility at the time of the crash with foggy weather conditions, and it was cloudy and drizzling. It was a terrible tragedy to Kobe's family and the 9 other people who lost their lives in that crash. A few fans of Kobe Bryant made a tribute to him, and I want to show it now. Rest in peace. This is truly a terrible loss.
I started playing basketball since I was 2, and I haven't put it down since. The sound of the ball bouncing against the hardwood, the smell of the leather, the sound that it makes when it goes through the net, all of that, I just love everything about it.
I have decided to skip college and take my talent to the NBA.
Jerry West told me greatness lies ahead for this young man.
Kobe Bryant, the kid, serving up a facial 81-point game. History at Staples Center.
Kobe Bryant at the buzzer!
Kobe Bryant,
One of the greatest of all time.
And we'll rise up. I like the waves will rise up. In spite of the ache, we'll rise up.
NBA Most Valuable Player Award.
We'll do it 1,000 times again.
Back-to-back titles.
Kobe was someone I just always wanted to be like.
He meant so much to me as a player.
And it's the reason why I play the game the way I play the game.
His impact is everlasting.
I love everything about this game. So for me, it's not a part of life, it is life. And it's truly a part of me.
Our next story, we're bringing it closer to home. We want to talk about bloggers in Kenya, and this one in particular, Mildred Atty. This year, 2020, I feel like bloggers are under attack. There have been so many cases of bloggers being intimidated and arrested. Just a few weeks ago, we had Cyprus Nyakundi being arrested and taken to court over allegedly trying to extort 17.5 million shillings from a local bank in Kenya. And over the weekend, we had Mildred Atty, admin of the famous Facebook group Buyers Beware, being come after by police in a very dramatic arrest. Over the weekend, a video surfaced online of Mildred live streaming her dramatic arrest as police tried to break into her house and tear gassed her home, trying to get her out of the house. And if you watch the video, you'll also be shocked at the level of violence and force being used by the police trying to apprehend just one person. And there were some comments on social media with Kenyans saying that they don't even use this much force to arrest the big shots in Kenya who are accused of stealing billions of taxpayer money.
At Donholm Estate in Nairobi Saturday morning, police officers mostly in plainclothes were on a mission to arrest activist Mildred Atty, well known as Atty. Neighbors tell us one of the officers had staked outside the compound the previous night, and when Atty's husband Joram Odhiambo stepped out, they first approached him and would later arrest him before seeking to arrest his wife.
Guys, I have invasion in my house. The police have come to invade me. They've come in my house in the morning. As you can see, the tear gas. They've broken my house. Yes, I have almost 10 policemen in my house. They've come to arrest me. I don't know why. There's tear gas.
At the time, Atty had just woken up and was getting dressed. The officers lobbed tear gas to gain entry through the neighbor's house and gain entry into her house by all means possible.
Here they are. I don't know why they've come. They've not even knocked. They have thrown tear gas everywhere. There's tear gas everywhere. They come to arrest me. I don't know why. As you can see, it's all over, tear gas is all over the place.
Akaanza sasa kuruka mapati. Mwingine akaruka mapati juu hapa. Na huyu mwenye aliruka mapati ni mwenye alishinda hapa. Kwa hiyo kipanda iko pale. So akapanda juu, mwingine akaingia hapa kwetu. Na akapanda hapa juu. So akasema muwe dogi. Mpige risasi dogi. Kuambia hivyo au kupiga risasi. Dogi wakaanza kutulia, wakatupa tear gas.
Venye nilifika nikaona askari wanatupa tear gas huko ndani. Walitupa tear gas kama 3. Halafu wakatupa wengine moja hapo, wananchi wakakimbia.
Huko na bibi.
They would later arrest them, confiscate their phones. The live recording of the arrest went viral, sparking a massive outcry. Using the hashtag #FreeAtty on social media, Kenyans voiced their frustration on the nature of the arrest.
Then they went through various police stations, from Buruburu police station to Makongeni police station, and finally landed here at industrial area. There was no warrant of arrest. There was no search warrant at all for the ransacking of her premises. They were very brutal.
This is intimidation. Even the use of her mugshot, for instance, what the DCI has done. For the last several months, they had stopped that habit when they were challenged about it. But they're doing it to Atty now.
Only thing that we can conclude is that they have an axe to grind with her, and they're using extrajudicial means to do so.
Nairobi Regional Police Commander Philip Ndolo said, and I quote, Mildred Atty was tear gassed to force her out of her house after she refused to allow law enforcement officers to access the residential unit. He further says that she was arrested for inciting the police to violence on Thursday. Owiso recorded herself ordering a police officer who had apprehended her over an alleged traffic offence to leave her car, saying it was unlawful for a traffic officer to enter a motorist car. The incident happened along Jogoo Road, Nairobi.
Hey guys, good morning. Another day here with the police in the car. As we've said, the police have no right to get in someone's car. If a police has an issue, they should command you to the station you're supposed to go. Police has no right to get in your car. Mimi, I have refused. I'll never give police a ride in my car. Never ever. I'm never giving a police a lift in my car. If there's an issue, tell us which police station we are going to.
After successfully managing to throw the officer out of her vehicle, Owiso was seen in the video charging up the crowd, Ndolo adds, even accusing the law enforcement officer of being corrupt. But the suspect refused to allow the officers in. She locked her door from the inside, making it difficult for the arrest to be made. Ndolo posed the question, honestly, what would you do if you are a law enforcement officer and the suspect refuses to let you arrest her over an alleged crime? The officers assigned to arrest her followed the lawful procedure. 1, identify yourself. 2, reveal why you are at the suspect premises. 3, ask him or her to surrender. 4, should he or she refuse, then use any means possible to effect the arrest. That is what we did, and use of tear gas to smoke out an uncooperative suspect is not illegal in any way. End of quote.
Absolutely unjustified. First of all, it's misuse of public resources. Having all those police persons going to arrest someone from their house.
What is in question, however, is the conduct of police while making arrests. The Traffic Act 38 of 2012, during the inspection of vehicles, allows a police officer in uniform to stop any vehicle and for any police officer, licensing officer, or inspector to enter any vehicle, to drive or cause a vehicle to be driven upon reasonable suspicion of any offence under this Act, to order and require the owner of any vehicle to bring the vehicle to him.
The officer was on duty, he was in uniform, he was wondering what's happening, why the vehicle are not moving. The one who was driving her was talking on mobile. So officers go and stop me and ask me, why are you doing that? She was supposed to be taken to the station. And in the police, while you're in uniform, we have that power to stop and to enter any vehicle.
But the interpretation of this law and police limits is what has been in question. Ndolo, in his statement, further said, the said offence is not the only wrongdoing we have arrested Owiso for. She has several other cases in different police stations that we are following up on. Yesterday's offence was the straw that broke the camel's back, end of quote. In August 2019, Atieno was arrested for causing disturbance and later released on a 20,000 shillings cash bail by the Makadara law courts. Amnesty International condemned the incident and urged the police to fully embrace reforms and act with professionalism.
It was unsubstantiated and the case is actually collapsing in court because of that. We also want to ask for compensation. We want to get Mildred proper treatment. Then we can be able to now know the way forward.
So she's going to fulfill the law of the law. And Monday she'll be before the court. And the case is being handled by the DCIO.
Ati and her husband Saturday evening were released, each on a 15,000 shillings bond. They're likely to appear in court on Monday the 27th.
Her lawyer made a statement at the police station calling out the police officers for their excessive use of force and that what they did was against the law, and reiterating this point that Kenyans are afraid of the police. A Kenyan with an issue would rather go on social media to complain about their woes than go to the police because they're not sure how they would be treated by the police, and people do not just trust the police to help solve their problems.
Today, if you're in trouble, as a citizen, you will run to the social media and not to the police station because you cannot trust the police to handle you in a civil manner or take your complaint without them meeting some sort of violence or punishment on you. This is absolutely unacceptable. We expect IPOA to take immediate action against those police officers because that is conduct and becoming of a police officer. You cannot ever send such a big contingent of people, use tear gas and arrest one person. I mean, that is even a waste of resources. What are we talking about here? There's a complete breakdown of rule of law and order, and we want the IG to take personal responsibility over this matter. We also want the National Police Service to take action on this matter. Elvis and I and my colleagues here are going to file a formal complaint against these officers. We want to know who they are, and we want action to be taken against them. We want Ms. Owino to be compensated, and we will follow up to ensure that such treatment is never, ever meted out against any member of the public. It doesn't matter whether you're a pauper, it doesn't matter whether you're a prince. The rule of law must be obeyed. Criminals have their own rights, even when they're being handled and processed for whatever criminal charges, and we don't expect the state that is the protector of human rights and human life and property to be the ones who are desecrating the law. We therefore demand that the IG acts immediately and puts this to a stop. IPOA must also act immediately and get on with investigating this conduct. It is something we've seen in the past. We have seen even the way Miguna was arrested, how his property was destroyed, simply because he was speaking.
Then this story took a dramatic turn over the weekend when there was a campaign on social media to accuse Mildred Atty as a con woman, and she was also accused of cyberbullying Kenyans and leading them to their deaths. When I saw all this news, I do not trust this information as the timing is very interesting. This campaign was launched barely a day after Mildred Atty's arrest, and Kenyans are clearly enraged at watching this video of this dramatic arrest happen, and seemingly somewhere out of nowhere, information and evidence surfaces that purports to discredit the victim victim as being a con woman and having other cases pending with the police, and somehow all this information is meant to make the police seem more justifiable in their actions. It does not make sense to me that a whole documentary was posted a whole day later. It takes a lot of time to collect and interview all the witnesses in this documentary, and that it's being published a day after her arrest. Why wasn't this documentary published earlier if they've had this information since last year? To me, it feels like there's a bigger plan here, but I don't want to speculate. Let me just give the information as is. So here's the documentary and what I found interesting from this expose.
It is arguably one of the most popular sites on Facebook with thousands of members. When Buyer Beware was founded, the intention was clear: to educate buyers about their rights and warn them about anything and anyone who may want to take advantage of consumers. Little did those joining the group know that it would turn into an epicenter of extortionist cartels who identify a target, bully the person, demand protection fee, or else threaten to turn your life into a living hell through cyberbullying.
Through Buyer Beware Kenya, about 5 women have committed suicide or died in, through depression due to bullying, shaming, just being dragged in the mud. And there are other people who are also still dealing with depression and stress and just trauma, including family members dealing with trauma, thanks to Buyer Beware Kenya.
In this documentary, we unmask the faces of bloodthirsty, money-hungry administrators of Buyer Beware, who have quickly turned social media to Buyer Be Bullied. We will bring you tales of people who have fallen victim to the evil administrators. We paint pictures of distraught family members who have lost loved ones who could not take the shame, ridicule, and name-calling they were taken through by the administrators of the Facebook site. And we will give you a reason why you should stay alert and resist the bullying taking place in a space that should be used for socialization.
Mildred Atty acknowledged in a Facebook post that she actually does take money to sanitize a brand's image, which I personally find very unethical. So it makes me wonder, does the truth have a price? It seems bloggers and people on social media have a very big voice that is not to be taken lightly. So what are we supposed to do? When you have information of someone did something and you tell that story, people start accusing you of you cyberbullied this person. What kind of society are we about to live in? I can understand that on so many of these Facebook groups, there's usually a lot of slander and a lot of untrue things that are said, and people are really have no chills. People really have no chills. I've gone through the comments and I'm in most of these groups. So where is the line? Where is the line between telling the truth and embarrassing and exposing and defaming someone? When I report on something that is true about you, am I actually defaming you? And me personally, I do not take money for any of the stories I've ever done, and I also never pay for any stories. The minute money is involved, it means that I am biased, and it means that the story will be biased towards a certain party. So what do you guys think is the way forward for bloggers and these exposés on the social media? Should we not tell these stories? Should we not tell the truth about what is going on in our country? Should we all just cower and hide and pretend it's not happening and pretend we can't talk about these people and just have a society where things are so rotten no one ever speaks up and says the truth? Do we now have a society where some of the most vocal activists and some of the most outspoken bloggers are come after and stories are made up about them and they're accused of this and that, this and that? For these bloggers that are now in court, namely Mildred Atty and Cyprus Nyakundi, I also acknowledge that some of their stories have been powerful and they have benefited society, but they've also done a few things that are not okay or right. So where is the line? How should we hold everyone accountable, even bloggers, even me? I should be held accountable because we do have very big platforms, but we are trying to help society because we do see the problems that we all face, and when we talk about it, why should we be targeted for it? So thanks for listening. That's all from me, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.